about some local business. Afterwards, Nanekia will come through with some stories as well on the local front. Let's just do the stories that we have. The Association of Ghana Industries has hinted the establishment of an industrial bank as an alternative to offer long-term support to the industry. Well, the establishment in its preparatory stage will solve industry challenges such as issues of high interest rates and make them more competitive.
Currently, almost everybody is borrowing short-term rates, very high, and it's not making us as competitive as we would like to be. So the whole idea is what can be done to raise long-term financing to support industry. Of course, we have funds from EDIF, we have funds from other sources, but these are not enough to support the kind of structure that we want to have.
So Samuel Apenting giving you all those details you need about the bank that's expected to come up. Let's do other business stories as government has rolled out a new information system that will track its spending and payments to promote accountability. We'll come back to that particular story later on, but we're told government is in that preparatory stage to issue out the 2014 budget. Of course, the finance ministry is putting together all the necessary measures, but even ahead of that, TV3 would want to remain the first in news. So we'll delve deep into it, what we are supposed to expect critically, what we are supposed to be looking at, growth projections in and around this time, and to help me do that is John Gachi. John Gachi is a financial analyst. He's also a lecturer with the University of Cape Coast. He joins us on the line shortly to give us more details about what he is projecting for the 2014 budget. Well, John Gachi, a very good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on Midday Live. Just before John comes through.
Good afternoon.
Well, John, thanks for joining us on Midday Live. First of all, let me find out from you. We're all expecting the 2014 budgets. For me, I'll let you touch on some growth projections that you can give against the backdrop that not quite long ago, the Economist Forum made a lot of projections about the Ghanaian economy, while believing that our growth projections will look good in the face of the continent. I mean, in your own opinion, do you buy into this?
Can you ask the question again? The line is
not quite long ago, John. Just about a few days, we had the Economist Forum in the country, specifically at Mervyn-Peak. Well, some of their key writers just outlined that Ghana looks good with its growth projection. As we wait for the 2014 budget, which of course is expected details of it is expected to come out in a very short time. Could you give me your own growth projections that you anticipate?
Well, I think the growth projection, looking at all the indicators around the economy, will continue to be stable around 8 percentage points. We will sustain this growth into 2014. So that will be the projection. But there are more issues about the growth projection for 2014. The concern of the budget will focus on how the growth of the 2014 budget will be spread across the sectors of the economy to reflect very well in the expectation of the people of Ghana in terms of job creation. I think that will be the main focus around the growth projection for 2014.
You've talked interestingly about our growth projections, but one particular area that people are a little bit concerned about also is our revenue. You know, when we talk about the country's current deficit and the like, in your own opinion, that's our revenue, or is our spending going to look good?
Well, I think, again, because we are actually talking about shortfall in revenue mobilization, the budget will find a way of dealing with that particular issue, especially coming out very clear with policy and program that will enhance revenue mobilization in the country within 2014 and beyond. That should be expected clearly in the 2014 budget. That is not the only expectation, but we will also be expecting how other sectors that provide revenue to the country, especially our export proceeds, how the 2014 is going to be structured in such a way that we can see more diversification of export and get more revenue from export revenue. Those are the things that I think will border on revenue mobilization. I think the budget will actually position revenue mobilization as a key instrument to achieve for 2014, because it has been realized that when your revenue mobilization is very weak, it affects not only your budget, but it also affects your monetary policy. So that will be a crucial focus in the 2014 budget.
Well, John, I'll allow you to go very shortly, but let me come to a little bit of the challenges. Do you anticipate that the 2014 budget is likely to face any form of challenges against the backdrop of labor and, generally labor and the deficits? Can you give me some updates on that?
Well, I think the issue of labor agitation, when we handle the situation well, the first quarter of 2014 should not experience the same level of labor agitation that we have experienced in this period. So I do not think that we will be having too much of labor agitation coming at 2014.
Of course, I was also pointing out that
but there will be some challenges that we need to recognize. We need to recognize that we are still middle-income nation. And for that matter, our donor support may not be the way we expect. So we need to plan within the next 2014 budget as to how we will be exiting from the dependence on donor support for our budget. We have been talking about 35 to 40% support from donor support for the budget. We need to see a clear exit program in the budget to show that we do not want to depend so much on donor support this time. And that is a crucial thing, because we are a middle-income country, and the effect of middle-income country not receiving so much for donor support, and coupled with the fact that the donors themselves are facing financial challenges, must be recognized in the 2014 budget.
All right, John Kachi, I can say a big thank you, and also for explaining. Of course, we have all the details that the European Union and major economies are having their own challenges, and this is going to impact on donor inflows into the country. Many thanks for joining us with all the updates on the 2014 budget that is anticipated in not a long while. We can see a big thank you, but that will do for business this afternoon.